So in this video, we're going to be discussing the Owl House Season 2 Episode 4 titled Keeping Up A-fear-ances, which is scheduled to release July the 3rd on Disney Channel. This episode comes right after Echoes of the Past, which has just been released, and we'll be discussing that episode later in the video. So we have the synopsis for the upcoming episode of the Owl House titled Keeping Up A-fear-ances, and it reads as follows. Ida gets an unwelcome visit from a family member who puts a strain on everyone in the Owl House. So after reading this synopsis, we can most likely assume that this relative of Ida is the woman who appeared in the Season 2 trailer, descending from the sky wearing a purple dress and holding a giant bird as her talisman. This woman is most likely the mother of Ida and Lilith, as she even resembles Ida a lot with their hair and face being similar. She appears to be wearing a medallion with a mysterious symbol around her neck, which we know nothing about for now. She also has a marking on her arm, which could most likely be a glyph or a coven mark. In the Season 1 episode titled Convention, we see power glyphs being attached to certain people's body like Amity and Tiny Nose. This gave them the power to increase their strength significantly, whereas shown with Amity when Lilith secretly placed a power glyph on the back of her neck, boosting her powers, and whereas shown with Tiny Nose when one of the construction workers in the construction coven placed a power glyph on her nose, increasing her strength significantly and rapidly. It could very well be that Ida and Lilith's mother has this power glyph placed on her arm so that she can maintain her skills without getting weaker, due to the fact that witches may start to feel a decrease in power as they get older. Now, if the mark on her arm is not a power glyph, then it can most likely be a coven mark to the coven that she belongs to. As seen in the episode Convention, we see a coven mark placed on this kid's arm, now only giving him the power to make illusions as all his other magic is sealed away. So that could very well be a coven mark placed on Ida and Lilith's mother's arm, and so far we don't know which coven she belongs to, as there are hundreds of covens out there in the Boiling Isles. Now I feel like when Ida and Lilith's mother come visit them in the Owl House, she'll most likely be disappointed in her daughters as they both are unable to use their natural magic and now have to rely on glyph magic. However, this may be the perfect opportunity for their mother to teach them tips and tricks, possibly increasing their skills in glyph magic significantly. Or who knows, maybe their mother knows a way for both Ida and Lilith to be able to use their natural magic powers again. Although this may seem unlikely, it could very well still happen. Now, based on the synopsis for this upcoming episode, it seems that the Clawthorn family won't get along at first, and it may be that Ida and Lilith's mother is very strict, as the synopsis says that she puts a strain on everyone in the Owl House. However, I feel like things will calm down with the Clawthorn family, with Luz being around them giving positive vibes. Once again, this episode will release on July the 3rd on Disney Channel and will be the 4th released episode of Season 2. Now let's discuss the most recent episode, Echoes of the Past, which revealed a lot about King and where he came from. So the episode starts off with Luz and Lilith in the living room researching glyph combinations in hopes of covering new spells. Luz learns a new spell that can make her invisible while holding her breath, and Lilith finds it fascinating. Meanwhile, King tries to get Luz and Lilith to play with him, saying that his stuffed animal Francois is trying to start a rebellion. However, Luz and Lilith are too busy and are not interested in King's games, as Lilith tells him that there was never a king of demons, and demons were never historically united under a single rule until Belos. King tells Lilith that he was the king of demons and remembers vague memories of his army and was worthy of a ruler. He also remembers falling from a massive height as an evil hex shrank him into the small creature he is now. King wants to prove Lilith wrong by taking her, Luz, and Hootie on a trip to an uncharted island hidden in a fog where he was born and where Ida found him. When they arrive at the island, they discover a ruined tower in the jungle. Inside the tower, they discover strange rock piles scattered everywhere and the walls decorated with carvings of a mighty demon that resembles King, implying that King's stories could actually be true. Luz goes deeper into the temple and discovers strange, creepy figures on the walls. Luz gets concerned and suggests that they leave immediately, but then a creepy figure crawls out of the darkness and attacks. Ida quickly comes to the rescue after following Luz and the others shortly after they left and fights off the creature, allowing Luz, Lilith, King, and Hootie to escape. Ida manages to escape as well but got slightly injured. They all are saved as the creature cannot survive outside the tower and stops pursuing them. It seems that the creature is a guard that's protecting the tower, which confuses King because he thinks that the tower belongs to him and wonders why the creature is attacking him as well. At this point, Ida decides to tell King the truth and how they really met. 8 years ago, Ida found her way to the island after running from the Emperor's Coven. She was looking for a place to shelter from the boiling rain, and as she was looking, she finds King, who she then saves from that creature and took him home with a broken horn. All this time, King thought that he was a demon overlord, which Ida just played along with throughout his entire life. King doesn't believe that Ida is telling the truth, but after she shows him his broken horn piece, his memories come back to him. Being the king of demons with an army turned out to be his imagination when he was small. King gets devastated as he runs away in tears, unable to accept the truth. Shortly, Luz finds King and King tells her that he's very hurt by the fact that everyone lied to him and was so caught up in his fantasies that he didn't realize it. Luz, however, believes that there is more to his story. King recalls a memory of him falling and hearing a roar somewhere at the top of the tower. Luz encourages King to find out as she believes that's a real memory of his. He reluctantly agrees as they rejoin the others. Ida apologizes to King as they quickly make up and are now headed back to the tower to further investigate King's memory. While Lilith and Hootie distract the creature, Luz, Ida, and King unblock a hole in the ceiling leading to the top of the tower. Once all 5 of them reach the top, they only find themselves in an empty room. The creature chases after them and has them cornered against the door. However, King manages to open the door and they quickly shut the door, blocking the creature from attacking them. They end up in a chamber where they discover eggshells as more memories come flashing back to King. He remembers a deep roar and then something happened, but he was too small to do anything, so he went back to sleep. The next time he woke up, he hatched from an egg and was carried away by that creature. King recalls that he had a father after hearing that the roar he heard meant son and that all the wall cravings were of him. We then find out that the creature was actually guarding King and was not a threat to him at all. After King realizes that he had a father, he desperately wants to find him and Luz promises they will try. After they all return to the outhouse, we find out that King has carved a symbol from the tower onto his collar, believing it could be his birth name. He also got his broken horn glued back on, and now realizing that he was never a king of demons, he wonders if he should still be called king. Luz begins to cheer him up, saying he will always be the king of her heart, and kisses him goodnight. That's the end of the episode Echoes of the Past, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on this episode. This episode in particular was pretty big in terms of the plot, and it will most definitely tie into the future episodes of this series. We'll for sure get all the questions we want answered about King, especially with who his father could be. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.